watching France 24 and it's time for our daily leaf through the world's papers. Catherine Norris-Trent joins me now in the studios. Catherine, Europe is bracing itself for another dose of Bush. What are the papers making of it?
Yes, they're all running big on what's being billed as Bush's farewell tour of Europe, although I think that makes him sound slightly like a rock star. He's landed in Slovenia already. It's a big event there for the EU-US summit, so the Slovenian press are going big on this. The English language paper, the Slovenian Times, reports that security's really been beefed up, sections of motorways being closed and all that. Although, interestingly, it says there are no big protest plans, smaller rallies, but no one big protest. So that's a change from what perhaps could have been expected.
So do you think people have finally learned to love Bush, or at least accept him in the seventh year of his presidency, or is it more a case of just deciding he's not worth it anymore?
Well, the Washington Post thinks the latter. They've got an analytical article saying that Bush is such a lame duck now that it's not really worth Bush bashing the anti-George Bush protests that have been seen before. They contrast this tour, what's expected to happen, with the events of when he visited in 2003. 100,000 people took to the streets of London, and the similar scenes aren't expected now. And they say that it's not really a compliment, it's because he's seen as having no real power at all.
Now, he's going to Germany, of course, after Slovenia, but Italy's also on the agenda. What's preparation like there?
Well, according to the Corriere della Sera, Italian newspaper, authorities are really beefing up their security presence. They're going all out on the security push, including plans to cut all mobile phone and GPS signals round the President and the First Lady and all their entourage as they move through Rome and the Vatican. People won't be able to telephone. There'll be helicopters overhead with infrared devices day and night, and fighter jets ready to scramble should there be any problems, as well as 10,000 Italian police. So,
goodness me. Well, that won't be very popular in Italy, particularly because they do love their mobile phones over there. So telling them they can't talk will be very unpopular indeed.
Exactly. Won't add to Bush's popularity, but it's causing lots of furore already, even ahead of the visit. So,
well, moving on, it's not just Bush that's in trouble. Silvio Berlusconi, newly elected yet again, but still not going totally brilliantly for him, is it?
Yes, the French paper Le Figaro has an article about the first signs of ill feeling creeping in with his coalition partners, the Northern League, over, would you believe it, corruption laws, suitably enough for Berlusconi. He said he wants to scrap the allowance of tapped telephone evidence in court. At the moment, that's illegal. He wants to get rid of that, and he says he'll push ahead with plans. The Northern League aren't in favour. They say they fear Italian voters won't understand.
Better news for Nicolas Sarkozy, though. You've managed to find that in Libération, of all places.
Oh, exactly. The left-wing paper, it could be better news in a gloomy context. They've got a survey, and apparently French people are more worried about economic woes, spending power, the price of petrol, than Sarkozy's controversial reform plans, such as cutting the number of civil servants and the 35-hour week. So he could get those plans through more easily because of the gloomy economic context.
But everyone's just depressed about the football. That will probably take the heat even further off Sarkozy.
Yeah, another depressing story in the French papers, like the sports paper here, L'Equipe. It's not won yet. France, of course, drawing 0-0 with Romania in their Euro 2008 match yesterday. And
very quickly, there is one Frenchman flying high today. Who is it?
Well, he's planning to cross the channel in a contraption, a helium-filled, pedal-powered air bike. Stéphane Roussin was planning to cross the channel, so English papers running big on that.
Thank you very much. Well, let's hope he makes it, and of course avoiding those blockading fishermen as he goes. Thank you very much indeed, Catherine Norris-Trent, for that review of the world papers. Stay tuned to France 24.
Business is brought to you by Dexia, the public finance bank.